हेलो एंड वेलकम, यू आर वाचिंग सनराइज टीवी। सरिता सबरवाल आपकी सेवा में हाजिर है आपके मनचाहे प्रोग्राम के साथ। नाम है जिसका आपकी किचन में। किसी न किसी के घर में जाते हैं हर हफ्ते और वहाँ जो कुछ भी सीखती हूँ मैं आप तक पहुँचाती हूँ। इस कार्यक्रम को आप पसंद करें ये जानकर मुझे बेहद खुशी हो रही है, क्योंकि आपके टेलीफोन कॉल्स, आपके ईमेल मैसेजेस मुझे बराबर मिलते हैं। आज मैं जिनके घर में हूँ उनसे मिलकर आपको भी बहुत खुशी होगी, क्योंकि वो बहुत ही यंग एंड टैलेंटेड गर्ल हैं, जिनके करीज के पेस्ट के बारे में, सॉसेस के बारे में, उनके पिकल्स के बारे में आप सभी अच्छी तरह से जानते हैं। उनके एक बहुत बड़ी रेंज है इन प्रोडक्ट्स की। क्या है ये प्रोडक्ट्स बताती हूँ अभी आपको। वैसे मैं जब इनका नाम बताऊंगी तो आप जान जाएंगे कि मैं किसकी बात कर रही हूँ। अंजलि पाठक इज़ विद मी टुडे। अंजलि ने मुझे अपने घर में बुलाया है और हमें सिखाने जा रही हैं क्या क्या, ये आप उन्हीं से मिलकर जान पाएंगे, लेकिन मेरा साथ ज़रूर देते रहें। हाय अंजलि।
हाय,
वेलकम टू दिस शो।
थैंक यू।
एंड आई शुड से कि पाठक्स का खाना सभी ने खाया होगा, मीन्स उनकी पेस्ट, सॉसेस एंड उनके अचार, पिकल्स वगैरह सभी खाते हैं, बहुत इंजॉय करते हैं। एंड ये शायद किसी को नहीं मालूम होगा, प्रॉब्ली नॉट मैनी पीपल नो दैट their granddaughter Anjali Pathak is a very good cook as well.
Yeah, well, I learned from my mum. And
You
my
learned from
grandma,
your mum.
So I was very, very spoiled.
Right, okay. If you look into the camera and tell my viewers that how did you learn? From your mom or your mother, your grandma, or is it your own invention?
Well, all my recipes now are my own invention, but I borrowed ideas from my mum, I borrowed ideas from my grandma. So most of the recipes I learned growing up was obviously what they had taught me. They taught me how to use a spice tin, they taught me all about what goes into all these wonderful creations, you know, all the curries, all the fantastic flavours, and I've just now borrowed those ideas and just created other stuff really, and whatever I find is interesting, and usually I use in-season ingredients if I can.
Okay.
So I use spices to liven up everything. That's what I do.
Right, but tell me, in today's cookery, today's recipes, are you going to use the spices or going to use your curry pastes?
So I'm going to do both. I'm doing both.
Okay.
So one is just using spice paste because it's very easy. It's a quick dish.
Okay.
It means minimum fuss. So you don't need to worry about having all that complexity.
Right.
And then the other dish is using a bit of both. Spice paste is my base with a few extra spices as
Fine.
well.
And can I ask you, do you watch this program?
I do sometimes.
Do you get chance to watch it?
I don't actually get that much chance, so I don't watch that much
From
TV.
your busy schedule?
Yeah, I'm always out and about. Or I'm in the kitchen. And I don't have a television in here, so I don't get a chance to watch too
Right,
much.
okay. And if you have watched few programs, did you like it? What do you like the best in the
Well,
program?
they're all very different. The recipes are always different.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I liked about the ones that I had watched is, you know, there's different ingredients every single time, and everyone's teaching their home recipes, which I love. That's how I learned. So I love
Good.
that.
So what are you going to cook today?
So we're going to be doing a spiced roast potatoes. So very simple. I'm roasting them in the oven, and then the other dish, something I'm sure you're familiar with, chana masala.
I can see chane. Yeah. So you're going to make chana and also
Spiced roast potatoes.
spiced roast potatoes. So are we going to do the
we'll do that
potatoes
first, and we'll get them in the oven, and then they can cook for
Fine.
half an hour, 45 minutes.
Good.
Okay, so what I've got here is I've got some Charlotte potatoes or new potatoes or whatever potato. I'm leaving the skin on. I like the skin, it goes nice and crispy in the oven. So I've just cut the big ones into half, and this variety goes really lovely and buttery. So that's the reason why I picked that one.
Okay.
And so that's going to go into my dish when I've created my flavour. So I need to put my flavour base in there.
Okay.
So the first thing I need to do is put a little bit of oil in there. So if you don't mind just passing me that oil.
Right, okay.
A good drizzle in there for me. Yep, that's perfect. Now that's just a vegetable oil.
Fine.
Okay, and then we need to put in our spice paste. So this is a Madras paste. Now this recipe has been in my family for about 40 years.
Okay.
So it means I don't have to get my spice to now. I just need to use this. all that wonderful flavour. You can see it's got a little bit of oil in there as well, which is also going to help the potatoes cook quite nicely.
So about 2 tablespoons or 3?
2 to 3.
2 to 3 tablespoons.
Yeah, this is about 500 grams of potatoes. So I'd say maybe like a serve 4.
Okay.
So serve 4 people. And this is just chana flour.
Besan or gram flour. Yeah.
I'm putting about a tablespoon in there, and this is really just going to make the paste, because it's oil, going to make the paste stick to the potatoes.
Okay.
So give that a really nice mix, and that just creates most of the flavour.
Just 1 tablespoon of gram flour.
Yes, just 1 tablespoon. Don't need much more than that. Now, obviously, depending on the size of your dish, I like to have it so all my potatoes touch the bottom of the dish, so they all start to caramelise and go crispy. Okay. Otherwise, they start to steam if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Give it a really good stir, and then
add your potatoes.
I can put my honey in, sorry, as well. So this is just a lovely runny honey. This is to make it go a little bit sticky as well, because they're supposed to be sticky, sweet, spicy. That's about a tablespoon or so in there. Give that a mix. If you don't have honey, you can just use a good pinch of sugar or something like that. And then my potatoes go in.
Just mix it.
And then I'm going to put my rosemary in as well. So if you smell lovely,
it's lovely.
It's gorgeous rosemary.
Nice.
Again, not traditional in Indian cooking, but it is very traditional in when you're roasting potatoes. So this is where I have really put my twist on what is actually a family recipe of mine. So I grew up having this dish on a Sunday.
Okay.
We would have this as part of our Sunday lunch, part of our Sunday roast. We always, as a family, would borrow ideas from all these other cuisines. And obviously living in Britain, and for me being brought up and born in Britain, I love this kind of food. So now all I'm doing here is I just want to make sure that all the potatoes are covered in spices.
Okay.
Now if you really want to experiment and build on this, you can put cumin seeds in here, you can put coriander seeds, I mean you can put anything.
Whatever you want to,
Extra black pepper would taste very nice. Make sure everything is really covered and coated nicely. You can see, get all of that on there. And I've not boiled them before.
Yeah.
I'm just putting them in raw.
Okay.
Because they're going to cook anyway for about half an hour, 45 minutes in the oven, and they're going to go lovely and soft. And I've got some garlic cloves here. I've just taken a couple of garlic cloves, keeping them in the skin. Okay. And they're just going to roast in the oven, and that's going to add a nice flavour and something nice to have with your potatoes. You can have a bit of your garlic and a little bit of your potato.
सिर्फ इन्होंने 500 grams लिए हैं potatoes और करी पेस्ट इन्होंने मद्रास करी पेस्ट यूज़ की है. अगर आप यूज़ करना चाहते हैं तो कोई और करी पेस्ट भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं, आपकी टेस्ट के मुताबिक वो होनी चाहिए. और 3 टेबलस्पून वो लिए हैं और उसमें 1 टेबलस्पून इन्होंने हनी डाले हैं. पहले आपने डिश में थोड़ा सा ऑयल डालना है. अबाउट 2 टेबलस्पून इन्होंने वेजिटेबल ऑयल यूज़ किया है. वो नीचे डालने के बाद फिर आप करी पेस्ट डालिएगा. करी पेस्ट डालने के बाद बीच में हनी मिक्स किया, फिर देन यू ऐड द पोटैटोज़. अगर एक छोटे साइज़ के हैं तो उन्हें आप पूरे भी रहने दे सकते हैं. अगर वो बड़े हैं तो उन्हें हाफ में काट लीजिएगा. एंड देन करी पेस्ट एंड हनी जो है उसके साथ उसे मिक्स कर दें. एंड रोज़मेरी इन्होंने बीच में ऐड किया है, फ्रेश रोज़मेरी. दैट उसका अपना बहुत अच्छा फ्लेवर होता है. एंड होल क्लॉव, बल्कि छिलका भी नहीं उतारा है गार्लिक का, क्लॉव का पूरा आप 5-6 बीच में डाल सकते हैं. और उससे बस अब रोस्टिंग ट्रे में डाला हुआ है. रोस्ट करने के लिए हमने ओवन में रखना है. Right? Did you understand?
Yes, I understood most of it.
Okay, Anjali.
Brushing up on my Hindi.
So it's going to go into the oven now. So right for how long?
About 180 degrees for about this size of potato, about 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Obviously, if your potatoes are tiny, because new potatoes are a lot smaller, then they only need about half an hour.
Right. And she hasn't boiled the potatoes before. Potatoes को पहले boil नहीं किया है. ये कच्चे ही आलू हैं जिन्हें वो roast करने जा रहे हैं.
Okay.
अब हम एक छोटी सी ब्रेक लेंगे. ब्रेक के उस पार हम बनाने जा रहे हैं चने. So is it just normal Punjabi chane or Gujarati style?
It's a little bit, I think, more Gujarati style.
More Gujarati style.
That's my heritage.
Okay.
But it has got a twist.
Okay.
A little bit of interesting ingredients that you don't normally find in Indian cooking.
Right. Okay. So stay tuned. हम लौटते हैं एक छोटी सी ब्रेक के बाद.